Chapter 14, Natural Resources. What are natural resources? Natural resources is something which is made by nature. And in this first slide, they talk about air, water and soil which is made by nature. What is air? We know air by the name of atmosphere. What is soil? We know soil by the name of lithosphere, and water is hydrosphere. So air, water, soil, which is hydrosphere, atmosphere and lithosphere, are natural resources. Even coal and petroleum are natural resources, जो आगे के section में आएगा. And these natural resources also include biotic component. What is biotic component? It means living component. Living things, वो भी तो nature ने बनाया है. All the living organisms around you, plants, animals, birds, bacteria, everything nature has created, and it's a natural resource. Objective question: 75% of Earth surface is covered in water. And what is biosphere? All living things which interact with water, air and land is called biosphere, the living sphere of this planet. Air, atmosphere. You should be ready to by heart the top 5 layers of atmosphere. The closest to the planet is troposphere, then stratosphere, then mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. And you can see in this diagram where does the hot air balloon and aeroplane go, where is the ozone layer, where is the northern lights, which is beautiful lights visible in northern hemisphere of the planet, meteors, satellites, spaceship, etc. So that is air or our atmosphere. Water or hydrosphere is basically everything which contains water. Ocean, sea, lake, river, pond, puddle, groundwater. Humidity in the atmosphere is also a part of hydrosphere. And soil is lithosphere, which is land, valleys, mountains, upper crust, lower crust, the rocks inside the earth, etc. This is more important. Biotic factors means those which are living. Plants, animals, bacteria, fungus and protista. And in the second you can see fungus, plants, protista, animals, archaea and bacteria. Basically anything which is living on the planet is called a biotic part of natural resource, and abiotic का मतलब होता है non-living. Non-living में आता है water, soil, air, minerals, gold, silver, platinum, iron, zinc, copper, molybdenum, etc. Minerals and light. Those are called abiotic factors. And biotic, abiotic together have created this successful planet. Next topic, the breath of life, which is air. In this topic, we will understand and know a little bit general knowledge about air. What is air? Atmosphere. What is atmosphere? It's a mixture of gases. And which gases? You can read the red line. It is a mixture of many gases like nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide and water vapor. Is it present everywhere? No. Venus and Mars, for example, does not have any life, and the reason is 95 to 97% of its atmosphere is made up of carbon dioxide. And for life, we need a fine balance of different gases, not just one gas in large quantity. What does air of our planet give? The most important thing it gives is oxygen. Oxygen is something without which the life would not have developed on the planet. Oxygen is useful for number 1, breathing. Number 2, getting energy from the cell. ये डिटेल में बाद में समझ में आएगा बायोलॉजी में once you advance that why do we breathe. The extreme scientific reason is body needs energy to move your eyelids, to speak, to think. For living basically you need energy, और वो energy food में से आती है. बट इट इज लॉक्ड, और वो लॉक्ड एनर्जी को खोलना है. खाना खाया तो एनर्जी मिली, बट वो लॉक को खोला किसने? ऑक्सीजन ने. सो वी continuously breathe so that whatever food we have eaten can release the energy, and that energy runs our body. And the third reason why we need oxygen is to burn. Combustion, to burn wood, to burn coal, to burn petrol, diesel, anything. If you want to burn, basic thing you require is oxygen, which we have learnt in 8th standard. So this paragraph basically talks about what is air, about Venus, Mars, and what does air give? Oxygen. Does it give only oxygen? No, it gives carbon dioxide also. And carbon dioxide is also equally important. But what is the quantity of carbon dioxide? Roughly 0.03%. It's not written in the textbook, but if somebody asks you, you have to remember there is 78% nitrogen in the environment, atmosphere. There is 21% oxygen in the environment, and there is roughly 0.03% carbon dioxide in the environment. So remember these three. I will ask in objective test. What do you do with carbon dioxide? Number one, carbon dioxide is produced by somebody. Who produces CO2? Plants produce CO2. How? Respiration. Plants also breathe like us. They take oxygen and release carbon dioxide. Animals also do respiration, and burning मतलब combustion releases carbon dioxide. कोई भी चीज जलाओ, the first most important compulsory thing to come out is carbon dioxide. So breathing in and out by plants, animals, and burning of things creates CO2 in the environment. और ये सब चीज़ कॉन्स्टेंटली चलती रहती है. राइट नाउ आई एम ब्रीदिंग एंड रिलीजिंग CO2, तो CO2 तो बहुत बढ़ जाना चाहिए. तो फिर सिर्फ 0.03% क्यों है? बिकॉज इफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इज यूज्ड, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इज ऑल्सो एब्जॉर्ब्ड. सो द नेक्स्ट थिंग इज हु एब्जॉर्ब्स कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड, हु यूजेस कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड. द नंबर वन यूज ऑफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इज फोटोसिंथेसिस. प्लांट्स डू फोटोसिंथेसिस टू मेक ग्लूकोज, जो उनका भी खाना है और हमारा भी. एंड सेकेंड इज फॉर मेकिंग कार्बोनेट्स एंड द सेल्स इन द सी. शेल એટલે શંખલું. कोई भी टाइप का जो शंख मिलता है तुमको, वो किसी लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म ने बनाया है बाय यूजिंग कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड. सो दिस टॉपिक इज लिटिल बिट अबाउट कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड. द प्रीवियस टॉपिक वाज अबाउट ऑक्सीजन. गोइंग अहेड, the role of atmosphere in climate control. On the planet, the climate is moderate. It is not extreme. Why? Because of our atmosphere. Our atmosphere creates good environment for life to develop. And as far as we know, life is not present on any other planet or any other moon. अर्थ का मून, जुपिटर का मून, कोई भी मून हो, लाइफ डज नॉट एग्जिस्ट. द रीजन इज एटमॉस्फेयर डज नॉट एग्जिस्ट. और एटमॉस्फेयर ना होने से क्या होता है, वो दो फोटोग्राफ देखो. इट्स द फोटोज ऑफ मून. मून के पास एटमॉस्फेयर नहीं है, और उसकी वजह से दिन में बिकॉज ऑफ सनलाइट द मून रीचेज 110 डिग्रीज टेम्परेचर, विच इज बॉइलिंग हॉट. You cannot live in that temperature. And at night, because sun is gone, the temperature drops to minus 190 degrees. Unimaginable cold. That's why atmosphere is very, very important. What does atmosphere do? The role of atmosphere. First point, atmosphere is a bad conductor of heat. It's a bad conductor. Means, एक जगह पे मशाल जलाओ और दूसरी जगह पे खड़े रह जाओ, तुम्हें गर्मी नहीं लगेगी, बिकॉज हवा में वो गर्मी पास नहीं हो सकती. What does atmosphere do? It keeps the temperatures of earth steady during day and night. Day और night का जो डिफरेंस है वो नज़दीक होता है, and that is good for life. बहुत दूर होगा means it's called extreme temperature. Too hot, too cold. During day, atmosphere decreases the temperature and keeps it cool, and at night atmosphere keeps the temperature warmer so that living beings can live comfortably. That's the role of atmosphere. How does wind and air move? So we have done air. Now we'll do how does air move, and moving air is called winds. This is an introductory paragraph, it's not important, but it lists down various things because of which wind is generated. First point, wind is generated because of water vapor in the air. Second, hot air rises up. Third, cold air settles down. Fourth, convection currents. And fifth, the sun heating and cooling the air. इस सब चीज का एक मिला जुला कॉम्बिनेशन है हाउ विंड इज क्रिएटेड. सो दिस स्लाइड इज नॉट इम्पॉर्टेंट. व्हाट इज इम्पॉर्टेंट इज दिस स्लाइड विच एक्चुअली एक्सप्लेन्स विंड फॉर्मेशन. लुक एट द टू फोटोग्राफ्स ऑफ डे एंड नाइट. डू यू ऑब्जर्व कि दोनों में लैंड राइट साइड है, दोनों में सी लेफ्ट साइड है, बट द विंड डायरेक्शन इज ऑपोजिट. ड्यूरिंग डे the wind comes from water to the land, and at night the wind goes from land to the water. और वो समझना है, और ये पूरा पैराग्राफ जो साइड में दिख रहा है वो समझना है. that we will understand from here. So listen carefully. First look at the top photo, which is what happens during day. सुबह के 9 बजे दिन शुरू हुआ. लॉकडाउन है आजकल, 9 बजे उठते हैं. एनीवेज, जोक्स अपार्ट, 9 o'clock the sun is shining and the land is absorbing the heat of the sun. What happens when you absorb heat? The land becomes warmer because it is absorbing the heat from the sun. So what? Because of this, the hot air rises up. You can see here warm air from the land is rising up. At the same time, you go on the water, it is not very hot because पानी को गर्म होने में टाइम लगता है. Therefore, the water वाला zone is cooler and cold air compresses and falls down. So you can see this arrow, the cold air is coming down and hot air is rising up. This automatically creates a cycle, and therefore now you can guess what will be the wind direction. The wind direction will be from the sea to the land during day. Exact opposite happens at night. Now think about this scenario. शाम के 7-8 बज चुके हैं. पूरे दिन की गर्मी जमीन को बराबर गर्म कर चुकी है. इवन पानी भी गर्म हो गया. सुबह 9 बजे पानी गर्म नहीं होता है, 12 बजे नहीं होता है, लेकिन दोपहर के 3 बजे तो पानी गर्म हो गया होगा बिकॉज कॉन्स्टेंट सनलाइट इज फॉलिंग. सो नाउ लैंड एंड वाटर बोथ आर हॉट एंड द सन हैज गॉन. द मिनट सन गोज, इट्स लाइक स्विचिंग ऑफ द गैस. लैंड cools very quickly, and because land cools very quickly, you can see this blue line, it's cold air coming down on the land. क्योंकि धरती ठंडी हो चुकी है तो उसके साथ जो हवा है वो भी ठंडी हो गई और ठंडी हवा नीचे आती है. बट द वाटर इज स्टिल वार्म, एंड वार्म वाटर की वजह से वार्म एयर इज राइजिंग अप. उल्टा साइकिल हो गया. And hence, conclusion, at night, the wind direction is from land to the sea. I hope I was able to explain it to you nicely, but still, there is one more option where I'm going to show you a video. See carefully and understand for yourself how wind is formed.
What is wind? Wind is moving air, although you can't see the wind itself, sun, because the Earth's surface is made of very different types of.
The sun is slowly heating the land. The land is warm, and warm land heats the air, and warm air rises up. But look at the ocean, it's cool and cold air is heavy and it comes down, and hence a cycle is created. Wind comes from water to the land. Any questions? No? Thank you. That's how wind formation works. Rain. We all know what is rain, but how is rain formed is the topic of discussion here. And there are few processes which are a part for rain to be created. The first process is called evaporation, where the water from the surface evaporates, goes into the atmosphere. Second is respiration of animals. कभी चश्मे के आगे करो तो धुंधला धुंधला हो जाता है, बिकॉज वी आर रिलीजिंग वाटर वेपर फ्रॉम आवर ब्रेथ. एवरी सिंगल ब्रेथ you release CO2 and water. So water gets in the air through respiration also, and transpiration matlab plants also release water vapor in the air. So evaporation, respiration, transpiration, these are the three things which are constantly releasing water vapor in the atmosphere, constantly 24/7. और इतना वाटर वेपर अगर नॉन स्टॉप जमा होगा तो वो कहीं तो जा रहा होगा. Where does it all go? It goes up with the hot air, and above the environment is cold. Why is it cold? Can you guess? ऊपर क्यों नीचे गर्मी, ऊपर ठंडी क्यों होती है? Air is a bad conductor of heat. We saw it previously. So ऊपर सिर्फ हवा है एंड हवा बैड कंडक्टर है, इसलिए ऊपर ठंडी है. तो नीचे गर्मी क्यों है? बिकॉज नीचे धरती है, लैंड, एंड दैट लैंड कैन कैच हीट एंड इट क्रिएट्स आवर एनवायरमेंट हॉट. तो समर सीजन में अहमदाबाद में 40 डिग्रीज होती है. क्यों? क्योंकि हम ज़मीन पे रहते हैं. तुम 500 मीटर ऊपर चले जाओ या 2 किलोमीटर ऊपर जाओ, इट इज़ चिलिंग, इट इज़ 0 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड. यस. एनीवेज, कमिंग बैक, hot air expands and above in the environment the air is cold, and cold air always contracts, सिकुड़ जाती है. और जब हवा सिकुड़ती है तो वाटर वेपर भी सिकुड़ता है, and when water vapor condenses it becomes small drops. और ड्रॉप फॉर्मेशन के लिए एक बेस होना चाहिए. देयर हैज टू बी, लॉलीपॉप की जैसे स्टिक होती है उसके ऊपर होता है लॉलीपॉप. Without stick there cannot be a lollipop. Similarly, without a nucleus there cannot be a water drop. And who acts as a nucleus? Dust particles, small particles of air or dust particles act as nucleus. So ये dust particles के around water starts to gather, and microscopic water keeps gathering and suddenly it becomes a drop. और वो drop कहाँ है? ऊपर. और ऊपर क्या होता है? क्लाउड. सो व्हाट इज क्लाउड? इट्स अ कलेक्शन ऑफ डस्ट, एयर पार्टिकल्स एंड मिलियंस ऑफ माइक्रोस्कोपिक ड्रॉपलेट्स ऑफ वाटर. तो इवोपरेशन, ट्रांसपिरेशन, रेस्पिरेशन से गई हुई वेपर कंडेंसेस, बिकम्स कोल्ड एंड बिकम्स ड्रॉप्स, एंड दोज ड्रॉप्स फाइनली व्हेन दे बिकम वेरी हैवी दे फॉल डाउन, एंड दैट्स कॉल्ड रेन. Rain formation. So rain falls from the clouds, and that in scientific language is called precipitation. Precipitation मतलब गिरना. पानी गिर सकता है, स्नो गिर सकता है, hail, sleet, etc. These are just forms of water falling from the sky. This is the diagram which explains everything which I was talking about. Once again, everything starts from the sun. Sun gives heat to everybody. Because of that heat, water starts to evaporate. Water evaporates up in the atmosphere. That evaporated water condenses and becomes drops of rain. And that raindrops finally fall, which is called precipitation. Water cycle continues. Again, शायद ना समझ में आया हो, so let us look at this video of rain formation. Or water cycle.
Let's look at the science of rain. How raindrops form. First, we'll need the sun. When the sun shines on water on the Earth's surface, the heat of the sun warms the water, turning it into an invisible gas called water vapor. This process, the changing of water into a gas, is called evaporation. Because gases are lighter than liquids, water vapor rises up into the sky. And the further you move up and away from the Earth's surface, the colder the temperature gets. So in the sky, the water vapor cools and changes back into tiny water droplets. This change is called condensation and is the opposite of evaporation. Clouds are made up of tiny water droplets, so when condensation occurs in the sky, clouds form and grow. Let's take a closer look. When water droplets bump into one another, they stick together and grow in size. They continue to grow until they are too heavy and fall as rain. They even grow as they bump into one another on their journey from the cloud to the ground. And every single raindrop that reaches the ground is made up of 1 million of the original tiny water droplets. Raindrops fall on the ground surface where the sun can shine on them, and the whole process happens again. This is called the water cycle and keeps water moving from the ground to the sky, providing the water needed for plants, animals and people to survive. So now you know.
That is water cycle or rain formation. Next is air pollution. The biggest pollutants are burning of coal and petroleum. What is coal and petroleum made of? Coal and petroleum is mainly made up of carbon, but it also contains nitrogen, sulfur, oxygen, hydrogen, other elements. And these other elements are a big problem for pollution, mainly nitrogen and sulfur. Oxides of sulfur and nitrogen are released when we burn petrol, diesel, kerosene or wood and even coal. कोई भी चीज़ जब जलाते हो तो sulfur and nitrogen reacts with oxygen and becomes sulfur oxide and nitrogen oxide. Plus, unburnt carbon particles are released as hydrocarbons. जो कार्बन पूरी तरीके से नहीं जला है वो भी हवा में जाता है. It is bad for health. Unburnt carbon particles. Suspended particles, dust, ash, धुआं, smoke, a lot of particles come up. It reduces the visibility. It creates smog, 8th standard में था. It creates allergy, cancer, heart problems, skin problems and diseases. So burning of coal and petroleum is the biggest reason of air pollution because of all these problems. Have you heard about acid rain? That also happens when you burn coal and petroleum. So acid rain का कैसा चक्कर होता है? That sulfur and nitrogen, these two gases become oxides. Then they go up and dissolve in rainwater. And when these gases dissolve in rainwater, the rainwater becomes acidic. And that is called acid rain, bad for the environment. Water. We have discussed air, we have discussed wind formation, air pollution. Now we'll discuss a little bit about water as a natural resource. Water exists in which form? It exists in two main forms, sweet and salty. Salt water is present in seas and oceans, we all know that, And fresh water, which is also called sweet water, is present in rivers, ponds, lakes, and even groundwater underground. Where else is water found? It's found in the atmosphere. The water is found in the form of water vapor, and water is also found frozen on the ice caps of polar region. So water exists everywhere inside our body also, and it is one of the most important elements for life. Why is water important? Because all living things need water. Why do all living things need water? कभी सोचा है कि हमारे शरीर में 70% पानी है, हमको पानी चाहिए, 6 ग्लास पानी पीना चाहिए? क्यों? The reason is every single chemical reaction in our body happens in water. Water is a medium. पानी होगा तो उसके अंदर सारे रिएक्शंस होंगे, डीएनए कॉपी होगा, एंजाइम बनेगा, डाइजेशन होगा, एवरीथिंग व्हाट यू कैन थिंक ऑफ हैपेंस इन वाटर. और उसको साइंटिफिक लैंग्वेज में कहते हैं इट इज अ मीडियम फॉर ऑल बायोलॉजिकल रिएक्शंस. दैट्स व्हाई वाटर इज नेसेसरी. सेकेंड, वाटर इज नेसेसरी फॉर ट्रांसपोर्टेशन ऑफ सब्सटेंसेस. प्लांट्स में एक जाइलम फ्लोएम होता है फॉर ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, और हमारे बॉडी में ब्लड होता है फॉर ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, and both requires large amount of water. Another reason why water is necessary to reduce the heat of the body. बाहर 40 डिग्री है बट मेरा बॉडी टेम्परेचर 37 डिग्री होता है. सियाचिन में -40 डिग्री होता है, फिर भी बॉडी टेम्परेचर 37 डिग्री होता है. एंड टू मेंटेन द बॉडी टेम्परेचर यू नीड वाटर. व्हाट हैपन्स व्हेन योर बॉडी हीट्स अप? वो रनिंग रेस में भागे या धूप में खड़े रह गए तो पसीना होता है. क्यों? बिकॉज दैट perspiration cools your body, and perspiration is nothing but water. So water is necessary for temperature management. Presence of water creates wonderful and diverse ecological systems in nature. Basically the life on the planet has developed because of water. पानी ना होता तो हम सब नहीं होते. And presence of water decides how life will develop on the earth. So this is a short paragraph on why water is so important. Because biological reactions happen in water, transportation is water, temperature maintenance of the body is water. Water also gets polluted. If we are polluting air by burning coal and fossil fuels, we are also polluting water. How? This is how. We use fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides, fungicides, and weedicides. These all are chemicals, and they are heavily used in agriculture. And when they are put in the soil or on the plants, rainwater के साथ mix होके वो नदी, नाले, river, ocean, groundwater, they reach everywhere. Second option of polluting water is sewage, गटर का पानी. जो हमारे बाथरूम और किचन में से गंदा पानी निकलता है वो सीवेज मतलब गटर लाइन का होता है, और वो सारा पानी वाटर पोल्यूशन क्रिएट करता है. इंडस्ट्रियल वेस्ट, इंडस्ट्रीज यूज लॉट ऑफ वाटर दैट गोज टू द रिवर्स एंड सीज. दैट्स कॉल्ड वाटर पोल्यूशन. बट यहाँ पे एक यूनिक चीज है, चेंज ऑफ टेम्परेचर इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड वाटर पोल्यूशन. हमको लगता है कि पानी गंदा है, ब्राउन कलर का है, क्लियर नहीं है, टेस्ट विचित्र है, तो वो पोल्यूटेड है, राइट? बट वाटर इज क्लियर, zero bacteria, zero chemicals, everything is perfect. You can take a glass of water and drink also, कुछ नहीं होगा. फिर भी पोल्यूशन गिना जाएगा क्योंकि वो पानी का टेम्परेचर गलत है. ग्लोबल वार्मिंग तो सुना है, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ ग्लोबल वार्मिंग टेम्परेचर ऑफ वाटर इज ऑल्सो राइजिंग. तो पानी कितना भी क्लीन हो, बट इफ द टेम्परेचर इज नॉट करेक्ट, दैट इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड वाटर पोल्यूशन. टू हॉट or too cold water destroys the living beings inside it. Therefore, it is called water pollution. And you can see in this diagram, शांति से pause करके observe करो, तो this tells you about how human beings are destroying the planet by doing all unnatural things. And anything and everything humans do is creating air pollution or water pollution. So that's the sad reality, and hence we should be careful of doing the right thing and trying to reduce pollution. वाटर पोल्यूशन कैसे पता चलता है कि पानी पोल्यूटेड है? द फर्स्ट हिंट इज इफ अनडिजायरेबल सब्सटेंसेस आर एडेड, जो चीज पानी में नहीं होनी चाहिए वो है, दैट्स कॉल्ड वाटर पोल्यूशन. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, if you find farming material like chemicals, pesticides, fertilizer, industrial material like oil and other chemicals, poisonous materials, bacteria and viruses in water, they all are undesirable, जो नहीं होने चाहिए, लेकिन है तो पानी polluted है. सेकेंड ऑप्शन कि पानी polluted है कैसे पता चलता है? जो चीज होनी चाहिए लेकिन नहीं है, रिवर्स, जो होना चाहिए पानी में बट वो नहीं है, देन इट इज कॉल्ड वाटर पोल्यूशन. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, पानी में ऑक्सीजन होना चाहिए सो दैट फिश कैन ब्रीथ, पानी में न्यूट्रिएंट्स होने चाहिए सो दैट एक्वेटिक क्रीचर्स कैन लिव, एंड इफ दे आर नॉट देयर द वाटर इज पोल्यूटेड. एंड थर्ड, विच वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड, इज चेंज इन टेम्परेचर. इफ वाटर इज टू हॉट और टू कोल्ड, then it is not correct, it's called polluted water. Especially the larvae and the eggs of living organisms will not develop in wrong temperature and it will affect the next generation of living organisms. So 3 ways to tell that how is water polluted. You can pause the video. I teach from what I have written here. It's exactly same in the textbook. ये तुम्हारी textbook है and the textbook language sometimes is tricky. That's why I have simplified it here. Soil. We have done air, we have done water, and now we'll do soil. Soil matlab lithosphere. The outermost layer of earth is called crust. Important definition. What is earth's crust? It's the outermost layer of the planet and it contains lot of minerals. Over millions of years, these minerals break down and form the soil. So, सबसे important topic of this paragraph is how is soil formed. Soil formation कैसे possible है, और उसका एक छोटा सा आंसर यहाँ पे है. Physical, chemical and biological processes. Physical, chemical, biological processes साथ में मिलके rocks में से soil बनाया है. So let us have a look at how soil is formed. The soil is formed by 4 main factors. The first factor is the sun. I am taking you back millions of years ago in past. So करोड़ों साल पहले इतनी ग्रीनरी, इतनी लाइफ, बायोडाइवर्सिटी, इकोसिस्टम कुछ नहीं था. Earth was a barren land, just a piece of big rock. But then दिन हुआ, सन आया, रात हुई, सन गया, सन आया, सन गया. During day, it's very hot, the rocks expand and they crack. At night, it's cold, the rocks contract, they crack, because of which the huge rocks become small rocks. So बड़े बड़े करोड़ों टन के पहाड़ छोटे छोटे पत्थर में टूट गए, बट उसको हजारों साल लगते हैं. hot cold, hot cold, hot cold, expand contract, break down, टूट गया. तुम एक बॉल पेन को लेके ये करते रहो तो एक दिन तो टूटेगी ना. इमीडिएटली नहीं टूटेगी, बट आफ्टर 2 minutes it will break. That's what happened with the rocks. So first factor for soil formation is sun. Second factor is water. पानी ने सूरज का साथ दिया. कैसे? जो क्रैक्स पड़ गई थी उसमें पानी एंटर करके वो क्रैक को वाइड बना देता है. थोड़ी जगह मड़े पची ये करके जगह कर लेता है. So water enters the rocks and makes the cracks bigger, makes the pieces smaller. And second thing what water did was X जगह पे rocks टूटे उसको नदी के साथ Y जगह पे लेके गए. And when this transportation takes place, the rocks dash with each other and become smaller and smaller. समझ में आया? So water is entering the cracks and making rocks, and fast water takes the small rocks to far away places, and these flowing rocks become smaller and smaller. Slowly they become soil. सन और पानी की मदद किसने की? द थर्ड फैक्टर टू हेल्प इज विंड, हवा. जब तेज हवा आती है तो स्मॉलर पेबल्स एंड रॉक्स गो विद द विंड. टॉर्नेडो, टाइफून, हरिकेन, all this leads the rocks to dash with each other, erode them, break them into smaller and smaller pieces. So wind hits the rocks and erodes them. Also the wind takes them from one place to other. And the last final nail in the coffin was done by lichens. What is lichen? Technically, lichens are फंगी प्लस एल्गे. एक टाइप की फंगस और दूसरे टाइप की एल्गे साथ में रहते हैं. बार्क ऑफ ट्रीज, स्टोन, जंगल, सब जगह अपने आप उग जाते हैं. एंड दीज लाइकेंस दे ग्रो ऑन द रॉक्स एंड दे मेक द रॉक्स वीक. So already sun was hitting the rock, wind is hitting the rock, water is hitting the rock, and lichens are also hitting the rocks, making them thin, weak. They are eroding, and finally their powder is created. And this powder of rocks is called soil. तो आज जो हम एग्रीकल्चर करते हैं, खेती करते हैं, प्लांट्स गार्डन में उगाते हैं, घर पे उगाते हैं, वी नीड सॉइल. एंड सॉइल एक ज़माने में था ही नहीं. इट वॉज जस्ट रॉक्स. बट नेचर ने वो रॉक का मस्त पाउडर बना के हमको प्रेजेंट किया है, एंड इट इज़ आवर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टू प्रिजर्व सॉइल. This is the summary photograph. So you can see sun playing its role, rain मतलब water is playing its role, wind is playing its role, and the green plants represent the lichens. Slowly, first photograph में सारे rocks थे, second photograph में rocks नीचे दब गए और ऊपर को soil बन गया. That is how soil formation happened. Let's see a video of soil formation. I hope it will help you understand things better.
Soil formation. The action of sun, water, ice, wind, and plants break huge pieces of rock to form soil. The process of soil formation is very slow, taking thousands of years, and is known as the weathering of rocks. The rocks are continuously exposed to the agents of weather, constantly heated by the sun and cooled by the rain. The alternate heating and cooling over a long period of time cracks the rocks in the following manner. Rain falling over heated rocks causes them to break due to sudden contraction. The rain collects in these cracks and may freeze in winter, forming ice. The ice in the crevices expands, causing the rocks to break into smaller pieces. Sometimes, due to strong winds and other natural causes, rocks may roll down, scrape each other, and break into smaller pieces. Sometimes the roots of a tree enter the crevices, and as they grow and require more space for themselves, this results in the breaking up of rocks. The roots of some plants produce acid that helps in breaking the rocks. The continuous movement of water from streams, waterfalls, and rivers also break large rocks into smaller pieces. Thus, soil formation is a slow and continuous process.
That is soil formation. So soil is powder of rocks? No. Why no? अब तक तो लिखा था. Yes, yes, yes. Powder of rocks. It's not just powder of rocks. It is much more than that. सिर्फ अलग अलग टाइप के पत्थर को पाउडर करके उसमें प्लांट उगा के दिखाओ, इम्पॉसिबल है. One master ingredient is still pending. And what is that master ingredient? It is called humus. So this is the last section of this video. What is humus? Humus is an important part of the soil, and it is made up of decaying organisms. Decaying मतलब सड़े हुए organisms, dead organisms. It can be bacteria, virus, fungus, plants, animals. कोई भी dead body जब soil में तुम दफन कर देते हो तो वो डिकम्पोज हो जाती है, एंड वो डिकम्पोज मटेरियल को कहते हैं humus. Humus contains microorganisms, algae, fungus, etc. What are the benefits? It retains moisture. रॉक के पाउडर में पानी डालो 100% पानी निकल जाएगा, बट अगर उसमें हुमस है तो मॉइस्चर पकड़ के रखेगा, विच इज नेसेसरी फॉर एग्रीकल्चर. सो इट रिटेन्स वाटर एंड मॉइस्चर. इट मेक्स द सॉइल पोरस फॉर एयर एंड वाटर टू एंटर. ट्री के रूट्स भी ब्रीथ करते हैं, सांस लेते हैं, उनको भी ऑक्सीजन चाहिए, और वो ऑक्सीजन सॉइल के अंदर कैसे पहुंचेगा? when there is humus in the soil, because it makes the soil porous. It maintains the nutrition of the soil. Topsoil means humus plus powder of rocks. That's the correct definition of soil. Humus plus powder of rocks. Let's look at the last video of what is humus.
Produce fruit and vegetables are rooted in soil. But what exactly is soil? Soil is a living substance containing different elements whose interaction determines the health of the plants it supports. Soil contains minerals such as sand, silt and clay. The proportion of minerals in the soil determines its texture. It is the organic matter called humus that determines the soil's fertility. The humus is constantly being regenerated by the living organisms it contains. Soil is a rich reservoir of microorganisms. The microorganisms facilitate the absorption of carbon in the soil, reducing the polluting effects which contribute to climate change. And by merging with roots, bacteria and fungi, these earthy heroes, protect the plant from disease and provide it with water and all the nutrients it needs. 1 gram of plant-covered soil contains around 1 billion bacteria from between 5,000 and 25,000 species. The other star of the soil is the earthworm, of which there are some 25,000 per hectare. In 1 year, several hundred tons of earth pass through the digestive tract of just a single one of these tireless workers. Worms also create tunnels, which help plants access nutrients and speed up absorption of air and water, which also prevents soil erosion. Soil health has a direct impact on human health, but soil is in danger. The use of pesticides and chemical fertilizers is sterilizing soil and killing living organisms. Deprived of organic nutrients, plants are becoming dependent on chemicals. Their natural defenses are weakened, and they need ever greater amounts of artificial inputs just to survive. Farmers, who have until relatively recently benefited from the free and natural service provided by soil, are in turn at the mercy of chemical inputs. A vicious circle develops, whereby ever greater sums of money are required to buy more and more products. Plants that are deprived of natural nutrients produce fruit and vegetables of inferior quality, which are low in vitamins and essential nutrients. They also contain potentially harmful pesticide residue. Urgent action is needed, and there is a solution. The solution is agroecology. Agroecology respects the soil's natural life cycle. It can also re-inject new life in infertile soils by counteracting the harmful effects of chemicals. How? By feeding the soil with compost, fertilizing it with green manure, practicing crop rotation, and by not harming its underground organisms by digging or ploughing it up. Agroecology allows us to practice a form of agriculture which respects soil life, whilst providing enough healthy, varied and tasty food for everyone. It is crucial for us to remember that living and healthy soil is good for our health, good for farmers, good for the environment and the climate, and good for the earth.
So, moral of the story, it talks about soil pollution. We are using so much fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides without thinking that it is destroying our own soil. एक bottle fertilizer use किया, it killed lot of organisms, but crop became double. But क्योंकि वो organisms मर गए, next year 2 bottle fertilizer use करनी पड़ी. उसके नेक्स्ट ईयर 3 बॉटल यूज करनी पड़ेगी और एक लिमिट आ जाएगा आफ्टर विच देयर विल बी नो क्रॉप. So you have to be very careful in using these chemicals because they kill microorganisms. You have to be careful about throwing industrial waste on the soil, sewage on the soil. Plastic, you know, it's the biggest poison of our life. Don't do deforestation. Deforestation में plants निकल जाते हैं और plants नहीं होंगे तो who will grab the soil? The roots have another job of holding the soil in its place. If there is deforestation, means no plants, and no plants means the soil will become loose, and when soil becomes loose तो सबसे ज़्यादा मज़ा पड़ता है water and wind को. Wind and water will take all the soil with itself and God knows where it will dump, but जहाँ पे forest है वहाँ का soil चला जाएगा, and that in simple terms is called soil erosion, soil going away. So there is a video of soil erosion, that how can we stop soil erosion. So very simple concept, grow more plants. जितना ज़्यादा vegetation होगा उतना better है, then soil erosion will be avoided.
Hi, I'm Jared. Welcome to Fun.
ये काका सॉइल इरोजन लाइव दिखाएंगे. व्हाट इज सॉइल इरोजन? दैट व्हेन रेन फॉल्स ऑन द लैंड इट वॉशेज अवे द सॉइल, विच इज वेरी बैड. सॉइल बनाने में लाखों करोड़ों साल चले गए. सॉइल इज न्यूट्रिशियस एंड सॉइल शुड नॉट रन अवे. तो व्हाट ही हैज डन, इट्स इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू. ही हैज फिल्ड इन 3 bottles. First bottle contains only soil, nothing else. Second, soil plus dry leaves. And third, soil where you can see grass is growing. अब वो artificial बारिश गिराएगा, and when he starts pouring water in the form of rain, see what happens if there is only soil in the bottle. एक टाइम आएगा जहाँ पे soil पानी पकड़ नहीं पाएगा and water will start to flow out. Naturally, बारिश गिरती है तो पानी flow करता है, पानी कहीं ना कहीं अपना रास्ता निकाल लेता है. But पानी ने जाते जाते देखो क्या ले गई साथ में. It took lot of soil. Look at the color of the water. It is dark brown and lot of soil has gone out with the water. Instead of that, if we had dry leaves, जो जनरली फॉरेस्ट में होते हैं, फॉरेस्ट में कोई झाड़ू मारने नहीं जाता है क्योंकि वो ड्राई लीव्स जो नीचे पड़े हैं वो ज़रूरी है. What will happen when we pour water in the dry leaves? You can see here, dry leaves on an average catch more water. ज़्यादा पानी पकड़ के रख सकते हैं, बट एक लिमिट के बाद पानी बाहर आएगा. बट जब पानी बाहर आता है, टू योर सरप्राइज द वाटर इज क्वाइट क्लियर. इतना सॉइल, और देखो कब से पानी डाल रहा है, पानी बाहर ही नहीं निकल रहा है, बिकॉज द ड्राई लीव्स आर होल्डिंग वाटर. नाउ once the water has started to come out, you can see the water is not crystal clear, and it has some soil also here, but it's better than having only soil without any plants. And the third option is when he starts pouring water in the grass wala soil, you can see the water is crystal clear. No soil at all has come out. In fact, you can drink this water. It's called natural filtration. Therefore, plants are necessary. Otherwise, the soil will get eroded. Thank you so much.